Hello, it's Sadie. I wanted to come on and do a Neptune retrograde energy reading. This is the energy that we are going to be dealing with for almost 6 months, and it's pretty heavy. So, I wanted to come on, do an energy reading, give you guys the energetic weather report, so to speak, so you know what to expect. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. This energy is an energy that I would say proceed with caution, but there are good things about it as well. So let's get into it. So, as you know, I am not an astrologer, but I study astrology. I understand astrology. And as someone who is intuitive and reads energy, astrology is a great tool to use to explain energetic shifts and challenges in both your personal life and in the collective, the overall collective of the world. And so that's why I do a lot of these videos. But for Neptune retrograde, and I usually would not do a Neptune retrograde energy reading. This is something that happens usually every year for about 6 months. But this one specifically is a little bit heavier because there is a Saturn influence. And so I wanted to talk about that with you guys. So today is June 29th when I am filming this. Neptune officially goes retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which it is. Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces. Pisces is high priestess energy. Pisces also can be moon energy. Neptune is Poseidon, the ruler of the seas and the waters. So there's a heavy water influence to this transit that's going to take place June 30th and end on December 6th. Why this is important to you, okay? Or why this is important to general in your life and how it's going to influence and impact. Here's the thing. Pisces is high priestess. All right. It is our intuition. It is our connection beyond the veil. It is the connection to all the other worlds. It is the things that are not necessarily in the physical or tangible reality that we are still innately connected to. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, so it encompasses all of the other signs of the zodiac. But Pisces is water energy. So it is the element of water, which means emotions are going to be heightened during this period, especially emotions that have to do with 12th house themes. So in astrology, each house, and there are 12 houses because there are 12 signs, has a different influence in your life. Pisces, being the 12th sign, is related to the 12th house. These are the things that are amplified in the 12th house. It is sometimes called the house of self-undoing because it is the house of secrets. It is the house of hidden enemies. It is the house of hidden information. It is the house of sometimes trauma. It is also the house of institutions. So you not having your power. And what I mean by that is mental institutions, hospitals, prisons. And so these energies, because you have both Neptune, which is the ruling planet of Pisces, going retrograde in Pisces this year, along with Saturn. Saturn is the devil in the tarot. Saturn also represents the world and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Wheel of Fortune can be both Saturn and Jupiter energy, but when it comes to timelines, when it comes to what goes up must come down, and when it comes to Wheel of Fortune being a card of karma and karmic returns, that is Saturn energy all the way. When it comes to the heaviness of life and sometimes the things that are restricting to us, represented in the devil card, that is Saturn energy. And when it comes to the world, completing karmic cycles and leveling up, learning from what you've had to go through, that is also Saturn energy. And so we have all these intense energies playing out during this time. Like I said, Saturn is also retrograde in Pisces. It's been retrograde in Pisces for about a week now. And it's going to be retrograde in Pisces until November. So you have Neptune and Saturn retrograding in Pisces for 5 to 6 months of the rest of this year, which means the tone of the rest of this year is going to be different than the tone of the beginning of this year. What this is going to bring up and amplify for everyone is addictions, especially addictions that you may have had in the past that you thought you have healed from. So this is a time where people are going to be more prone to relapse. And I'm not just talking about substances. I'm talking, say you had an eating disorder. This time could be very challenging for you. Say you've had gambling addictions. This time could be very challenging for you. This is addiction in all form. This is forms of escapism that are our self-undoing. Again, the 12th house is the house of the self-undoing. And so anything that has kind of been in the shadow, your addictions, your obsessions, your insecurities, your fears, those things are going to come up to the surface to be examined and reviewed, because retrogrades bring in review, reevaluation, returns. This is why Mercury retrograde, a lot of times there's a return of an ex. This one, there could be significant returns of Saturn of karmic partners that you need to clear karmic lessons with. This could be partners in terms of love. This could also be past friendships and relationships, but the energy is heavy. I'm not going to lie. I've been getting downloads about this for about a week now, and it's kind of taken me to this point to bring through the energy in a way that isn't as scary and as terrifying as it feels, okay? Because there is good too. We live in duality, and so I will talk about the good of this influence as well. But let's continue with any addictions, any addictive behavior traits, any obsessions, any of sort of those self-undoing, self-sabotaging behaviors and thoughts. They're going to be coming up to the surface to be amplified over the next 5 to 6 months. Saturn is a great master teacher. Saturn wants you to level up. Leveling up is not always easy. Saturn also wants you to learn the lesson so that you can move forward. And so there is this time, and I've been talking about this a lot because it's the energy of this year, this divine justice energy, truth being revealed. This is also a time of instant karma, or people getting karma for past efforts. Karma can be both positive and negative. Just depends on where you are on the turn of the wheel, okay? This guy's fallen off the wheel. God rest his soul. But these people are on top of the world, celebrating, loving life. And so for those of you who will witness this in your personal life and in the world around you, understand that whatever takes place for anybody, okay, that is their karmic lessons to learn. Or if they've learned it, they're finally receiving the justice, the reward, the level up, the promotion, the expansion for achieving full circle. Okay. And so it's not a time to judge what people are going through and what people are experiencing because it's Cancer season. This is going to be the season because Neptune is the ruler of the seas, ruler of the oceans. This is going to be the season where this energy hits the heaviest, okay? But as always, this time can bring in a lot of alchemy. It can bring in a lot of healing. It can help you to heal past traumas, past addictions. It can help you to heal energies that have been self-sabotaging and self-undoing. It's like the lesson will finally click, or you'll finally make a different decision and make a different choice, which leads you on a path of healing, alchemy, grace, peace, divine intervention, and just really reflecting and learning through challenges. It's like the alchemy energy is taking, lemons and turning them into lemonade, or taking the pain that you have experienced and turning it into your power, or turning it into something that ends up being absolutely beautiful for your life. The power of this time to alchemize your pain into your purpose is unmatched by any other astrological time that I have ever personally felt. And so this is a time where you could experience incredible victory, success, and triumph over obstacles, triumph over everything that has ever held you back, stepping you up, into a completely new timeline of all wonderful things. But again, because it is a time of instant karma and kind of seeing exactly the energy that you put out is the energy that you are going to receive back. This is really a time where you have to be very, very cautious not to relapse, not to revert back to past behaviors that no longer serve you, or past people or past circumstances that are your undoing, that are lower vibrational energies for you to interact with, because the karma of this time is going to hit heavier than it normally would. It's like the blessings of this time could be more than you could ever expect, but the karma of this time and the heaviness of this time could be more as well. It's extremes of energy. This is an extreme time, and we are in these extremes of energy. And one of the things that people are going to see more of, okay, and this is not to scare you, but this is just to get you to understand how powerful this energy is you definitely could see more overdoses during this time. You could see more suicides, and more people unaliving themselves. You could see more mental health breakdowns and mental episodes. And unfortunately, because water is such a heavy influence, you could see more drownings. And so this is why during this time, proceed with caution. Trust your intuition and your instincts above all else. It doesn't matter if you are an expert swimmer. If you one day go to the beach and it just doesn't feel right to get in the water, don't do it. This is a time where you're really going to be called to listen to your inner voice more than ever, because when Neptune is retrograde, there is a lot of illusion. There is a lot of deception in the environment, in the world. Things do not look as they appear, or things are not as they appear. Okay. And so it's really, really important to take slow and conscientious steps forward, to really listen to your heart and soul and your intuition, your gut. If anything feels wrong, uncomfortable, this is a time where you ask your higher self and you ask your guides to give you the truth, because the truth will be revealed to you. Okay? It is a time of truth and revelation, but it's also a time where you're going to have elements that are going to do everything that they can to disguise the truth, to try to withhold the truth. And so if you are listening to yourself and listening to your higher guidance, you will have the truth. This is also a time where your wounding, your trauma, past secrets, and kind of your insecurities are also going to be amplified as well. And so this is kind of that energy of like, don't get caught up in a moment. Depression is going to be at an all-time high. Fear is going to be at an all-time high. And so you have to understand you have emotions, but you are in control of your emotions. You are the alchemist, okay? And so you do not have to allow yourself to be lost at sea, because this is an energy where people can really get lost and caught up in it. And that's why those things that I talked about with overdoses and people unaliving themselves and stuff and having mental health episodes, like really, really strong ones. That's why things are going to be amplified during this time, because the emotions are going to be so overpowering. Things can seem more real than they actually are. If you need help, seek help. If you feel like you're about to relapse, if that is something that you have had an issue with, call a sponsor, call someone that you trust and say, hey, I'm struggling right now. I need your help. If you feel like you are hopeless and you want to give up on yourself, reach out for help. Call someone, email someone that you trust. There are many hotlines. There are many, many resources. You need to understand, again, don't get caught up in the moment and lose everything that you have worked for because of one moment. Your life is so important and it matters so much. And like I said, this is a time of incredible alchemy and really being able to step into your highest timeline if you can just stay focused on your goals and dreams and not let the external world or even your past fears and traumas and the things that you have gone through throw you off course. Let your heart lead you forward. Trust your faith. Trust in God. This is a time where it's going to be incredibly important to utilize your spiritual tools and spiritual practices for your highest of good. And just a time too where you just want to make sure that you are continuing to move forward, continuing to grow, continuing to heal, and not allowing yourself to come back into lower vibrational energies that don't serve you. Because there are going to be, you can say, tests. This is especially when it comes to like karmic people and karmic situations coming back in your life, because Saturn, as much as Saturn gets a bad rap in astrology, Saturn wants you to do the work and Saturn wants you to step in your power. And so it's going to show you where you can take on more accountability, more responsibility for yourself. And that's when Saturn will bless you and give you rewards and blessings that set you up for life, because Saturn is a long-term energy. And so you can be set up literally for the windfall of your life during this period for all your past efforts. But again, you do not want to slip up during this time either, because the karma is going to come down harder, and that could be karmic debt as well. Okay. Overall for the world, because we are in Cancer season, it's Neptune and Pisces, so it's a ton of water energy. This time in the world, there could be more water events. So just be aware of that. More floodings, like I mentioned before, unfortunately, more drownings, which I have been hearing about over the last month. More hurricanes, more rain, more weather events, more ocean events as well. Okay, so just be mindful of that energy. But this is also a time of incredible deep spiritual awakening. And really, if you're doing the shadow work, coming to those epiphanies and those aha moments that completely set you free from your past traumas, your addictions, your fears, and really help you to step into your absolute highest timeline. Now, how to utilize this energy for your highest good. And I know this video is long because there was a lot that came through. Okay. How to utilize this energy for your highest good is discernment. And I'm going to briefly talk about discernment, what my guides wanted me to share about discernment. Okay. I'm going to use peanut butter because I think that's a good example. The one thing you have to understand about discernment is that what is good for you may not be good for somebody else. And so I'll use the peanut butter effect. I'll use my peanut butter example as this. For me, I don't love peanut butter. I don't hate peanut butter. I'm kind of neutral about peanut butter, to be honest. If I have a choice between chocolate and peanut butter, I'm going to choose chocolate. If I have a choice between caramel and peanut butter, I'm going to choose caramel. But if chocolate and peanut butter are together, I'm like, yeah, sure. Thanks. I'll take it. But peanut butter doesn't affect me. However, if someone who is allergic to peanuts has peanut butter can be fatal. And so why I use that example when I explain discernment is because you have to understand, like, not everything is going to be good for you, but sometimes things that are not good for other people are good for you. So it's a one size does not fit all, which is something my guides are always telling me. I know this expression gets used a lot. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. But in terms of discernment, that's not, okay? Discernment is about really tapping into what's true for you and what's good for you, okay? And so these are some questions that you can ask yourself during this time as we are going through this Neptune retrograde, which is going to be June 30th through December 6th. And because, again, Saturn has a heavy influence in this energy until November, this is a time where discernment, really using your discernment, is going to help you to navigate the energies and to stay on course, stay on the right path. Okay. So, number one question for discernment: is this of my highest good? Okay. If I let this person back into my life, is it for my highest good? And when I always ask that question, because sometimes we're not very clear if something's for our highest good, right? I'll ask, is this harmful to me or anybody else if I do this thing or if I let this person back into my life? And so if the question is yes, that it's harmful, then it's a no, okay? What is for your highest good is never going to cause you harm. And it's not going to intentionally inflict harm on anybody else. That's what you need to know, okay? When you're tapping into discernment. But if I'm still not clear that it could be potentially harmful, this is a good time to ask the second question. Is this person, this thought, belief, whatever, is it something that benefits my life right now? Because again, something may not be harmful for you, but something may not benefit you. I'll go back to using peanut butter for this. I just over the past month have been really getting guidance for myself personally to clean up my diet, to drink more water, to eat healthier. I got sick, which was good for me because it really kind of got me to slow down, to stop, to reset, and to examine myself and re-examine some of my choices. And I've been going back to the gym. I've been feeling better. So for me right now, is peanut butter of my highest good? It doesn't harm me, but is it something that benefits my life right now as I'm trying to get healthy and exercise? Well, that depends. Am I going to be eating a whole bag of Reese's peanut butter cups? That would not benefit me right now, okay? Am I going to have one Reese's peanut butter cup? So it's like you have to go through the analysis of if it's going to benefit you and why, and weigh the pros and cons of those things. Now, again, I just don't really need peanut butter in my life right now. I know peanut butter is not always unhealthy. It's just there's certain things that I'm attempting to stay away from. And so anything with a lot of extra added sugar is something that I'm trying to stay away from at this time. So for me, that question is a no. That doesn't really benefit my life. I can go without it. And so that's my choice at this time. But for you, if you're dealing with a certain person or wanting to make a decision about something, definitely ask that question to yourself. Does this benefit me? What are the pros and cons of this? If I say yes to this, what are the pros and cons? If I decide to do this thing, what are the pros and cons? Okay. It's really, really important to know that for yourself. Again, because what are pros and cons for me may not be pros and cons for you. And so discernment is a very personal thing, but it's really about tapping into your truth and really about knowing yourself and what's important to you. And then I'll ask myself a question. Is this bringing me closer to my dreams and goals? Is this bringing me closer to the vision that I want, the highest vision for me, what I want for myself? If it's something that does, then good. But if it's something that doesn't bring you closer to your dreams or to your manifestation or to your goals, then that's an indicator that it may not be good for you. Okay? And then the other question I ask, is this in alignment with my truth and current beliefs? Because this is important. You really need to know yourself. You need to know your non-negotiables. You need to know what your truth is and what your current beliefs are. Because there's a person that might come back into your life who maybe was in alignment with you 3 years ago before you started to awaken. But now you guys have different belief systems, you're at different energy levels, different vibrations. And so they may not be in alignment with your current truth and belief systems. These are important things to ask yourself and know when you are using discernment, okay? And so with that, Spirit wanted me to do that thing with the discernment. I'm going to do a quick tarot reading because I know this is a long video already. But just to tap into the energies of the Neptune Retrograde. Angels, guides, higher self, Holy Spirit. What further messages do you want to bring through for this Neptune Retrograde? First card is the High Priestess, okay? Pisces energy. Trust yourself. Make decisions based upon what you love with the Lovers. because the Lovers is not just about love, it's also about a choice. But for some, this could be bringing back or bringing you into a significant partnership at this time. Again, use your discernment if that's for your highest good. Ace of Cups, more love energy, the overflow of love, the overflow of emotional fulfillment. Also, this is a very healing energy. So again, this time could be incredibly healing. I know I talked about a lot of the negative things, but it is a time of alchemy and healing too, okay? Four of Pentacles. Hold on to what you value, though, and know your worth. If you're letting someone back into your life who is not stable, who is not consistent, who is still in addictive behaviors and addictive patterns, ask yourself, is that for my highest good? Be honest with yourself during this period of time. Seven of Wands, protect your peace, defend your energy. It's going to be important during this time to stand up for yourself, to know your truth. But understand that if you do those things, you protect your peace, you cleanse and clear your energy, you're shielding your energy, and you're keeping yourself in dedicated and really diligent on your spiritual practices, you will be in this beautiful bubble of protection where nothing and no one can harm you. Any other messages you want to bring for your spirit? Page of Pentacles, new opportunities, money, abundance coming in a big way. Again, if you stay balanced, stay honest with yourself, use your discernment. Knight of Swords, the ability to go after your dreams and desires and really make choices that are helping you to move forward and not move backwards in your life. Bottom of the deck is Strength. You are strong enough. You are powerful. And this is a time, again, because of the Saturn influence. Saturn wants you to step into your power. And so your strength may be tested, but it's only to get you to see how powerful and how amazing you truly are. So with that, beautiful reading, beautiful energies coming out. And it does look like for many, there's going to be love, there's going to be more abundance and stability. But again, use your intuition. It is your superpower. Utilize it, trust it, follow it. Protect your peace, protect your energy, stand in your power, know your truth, and use your spiritual practices. Final messages with this reading. We are going to use the Sacred Symbols Oracle card deck. As I am bringing the deck out, we've got boundaries. Very, very important to set healthy boundaries during this time. Okay? Spirit. Don't compromise your boundaries for anybody or anything either, is what I'm hearing. Guides. There's that water energy. Your guides are all around you. Trust them because they are helping you move forward. It's the energy of 7, which is this year, and we're moving into a 7th month in July. I have another message about that, but you are moving forward. You are triumphing. As long as you utilize the beautiful resources that are available to you for your highest good. And Talisman, you have the key to everything in this life that you desire. You've got to start believing in yourself. You've got to start knowing your worth and your value. And you've got to utilize all the tools that you have to move yourself forward. All right. I am sending you guys my love. I hope everyone has a great Neptune and retrograde cycle. And again, if you need just